We know this goes minimum to pharaohs, but time, history, it's all irrelevant because it's been manipulated. So who knows what fucking date it is? Who knows what point of time it is?
No.
But what we do know is, fact for fact, there's right here and there's right now. And really, that's all there is. You can live on different timelines if you want, but you'll be living in past and in future. Future's not here. There's now and that's it. For you and me. So there we go, Carla. Over to you.
Well, I had to start recording again because many people here ask me to please record Scott's voice. We want to hear it every time we go to bed. So keep going, Scott.
I keep saying over and over.
Now he's gonna think. Now he's gonna think that his voice makes us sleep.
No.
Had that happen. I have firsthand knowledge of that.
Well, I mean, if you girls want, I can do a record. I can ask Scott, and we go on a call, and I just record his voice.
Hold on. Wait. Why just the girls?
I don't know, because I don't know if the men have the same thing. No woman manifested. Oh yeah, Octo suggested the same. Okay, so all of you then. I mean, come on. I put this to record for Scott to speak. I am speaking. Why the hell am I speaking? Scott, take hold of this call, please.
No, it's nice just to be amongst open-minded people. That's all I crave. I don't wish for people to understand things the way I understand them, because I don't understand things the way they understand them. All I crave from anyone is an understanding. So we'll listen to one another. That's all. We take on board. We take, yeah. Everyone has a say. We are all equal.
I think everyone prefers your say.
No, but listen, this is that we're all equal, right? But unfortunately, we're not always right. Yeah, so there's a hierarchy of things, yeah, whether we like it or not. The universe has a hierarchy. So, for instance, when we start a new job, for instance, we usually start at the bottom of the company. Yeah, we know nothing. And we kind of slot into place. There's an unwritten hierarchy, a written hierarchy, of course. You've got a boss, but there's also an unwritten hierarchy with members of staff. Well, that's the same with life, isn't it? Yeah, everyone has the say, but ultimately, the people that pull rank are the people that know how to get it done. And I think what we've allowed to happen is we've just fucking sat back. People are happy just to sit back and allow things to happen rather than getting involved. But for me, there's no sitting back. You can't sit back. The moment you sit back, you allow others to dominate the landscape. And generally speaking, it's usually the wrong uns that rise to the top, because they like to dominate and use force. But the tide has changed, and I've been looking for a long time, because as Carla knows, this affidavit, right, it's fucking bulletproof. However, it's taking fucking forever to get people on board with it, right? So David Ward and myself, we had many conversations, right, on referendums. boring subject. But referendums may be a way forward. But again, it can only happen locally. Governments across the world, right? It's strange how they're all set up, because they're all set up almost by proxy. Westminster, for instance, is the head of the snake, but government itself is run locally. So at local level, almost parish level. But every local council has a constitution. And as part of that constitution, it gives every citizen the right to call a referendum. Now, people don't really understand what a referendum is. A referendum it's not just a vote; it's a direct vote from the people. There's no going back from it. So we can up the ante, but again, it's numbers. You still need people. But the referendum is easier for people to understand. It's almost one step back to take two forward. I've been looking into it for years, and I think it is a possibility. But it's about getting people on board. Have people had enough yet? I don't think they have. I suspect they haven't had enough yet. The money hasn't dried up yet. So people are still chasing those false idols. And while ever that's the case, unfortunately, for the likes of us, we have to seek alternative means. So that's what I did. I sought them alternative means. I could see what were coming. Since I sold my house, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's been 8 mortgage increases. So I sold at quite a good time, really. Got out at a good time. And I think that's going to be the catalyst, because prices are rising everywhere now. Across Europe, we're almost at parity, aren't we, with most currencies? So it's only a matter of time before the banks go pop. So it's, yeah, I think that's going to be the catalyst. It's where people are, where are they going to be? All I see is fear everywhere. That's it, fear, 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 fear. But that's mainly due to the shit that they're listening to. Because everything listened to is programming your brain. And unless you're programming it, someone else is programming it. You have to be the architect of your own thoughts. And that's really what it fucking boils down to. Your thoughts. Your conscience, that inner you, that inner speak that we all have. You have to control those thoughts. And build on the positive thoughts. And those are the ones you need to be manifesting. Because we all get the thoughts. We've all thought, oh God, I could fucking kill him, or I could, but that's not really what we believe. It's in the heat of the moment. We all have though. It's about the real thoughts. That's where the battle is, in your mind. That's it. The duality of life. It's like Freemasons have fucking mastered society. Because they've learned they don't have to master their own thoughts. What they do is they create content in order to control the thoughts of the masses, so the masses build their future. but the masses keep on swallowing the content. So until that happens, people are really, I mean, truly, the people are out of their minds. They're not in control of their own minds. So a massive break of people like Carla, much more independent news, much more independent people like Carla doing what she does. It's amazing. Week after week, month after month, getting this message out there. But ultimately, whether you use the affidavit or not, it's you that holds the key to you, to your own consciousness and the one consciousness, if you like. But you have to be responsible for those thoughts, those actions, words and deeds, as we say in the paperwork. That's what it's. So that's all we are ultimately: actions, words and deeds. That's anyone's legacy.
Scott, Anthony wants me to read something to you because he can't speak. He says, Scott, I have my own channel now, mate. Have been talking with Adrian. We need to do a podcast and focus purely on parish councils and referendums and how to do this going forward. Set the ball rolling. Birmingham City Council is close to collapse according to the so-called media and is under special measures.
For that, yeah, definitely up for that. Yeah. Look, all the countries of the world, they're all operating, but they're all operating in bankruptcy. Yeah, so they're all bankrupt anyway. Even if they were companies that we're all agreed to, they're all operating in bankruptcy. So everything created always goes back to creators, doesn't it? So this wealth, so-called wealth that's being created, like fuck it's wealth, it's debt that's being created, and it's all got to go back to source. So yeah, it's going to be a fucking hell of a bump for people. But yeah, up for a podcast, Anthony? No probs.
Get done. Anyone wants to ask any question to Scott? Feel free, guys. Don't be shy. This is your opportunity. Enjoy it while it still has a good internet.
How do you create a parish?
What, Mark?
How do you create a parish?
That's a good one.
Well, first of all, Mark, there are already parishes in place, so we need to fucking sack the men and women who are working for these parishes. That's the first port of call, mate. Don't forget these parish councillors, right? Who are these parish councillors? Right? They're the neighbours and colleagues of the local people of that parish. Are they held accountable? Are they bollocks? So we need to get fucking street parties with. It's about getting organised. You have to get organised. Do the people in your street know what's going on? Do they care what's going on?
No, they're watching Netflix.
So we need to get as many people locally as possible. Put posters out there, flyers out there. This is where we have to make things happen. Yeah. It's no good waiting and sitting around and, well, somebody else will do it. Yeah. It's like that old fable. They came for the black man and I did nothing. Yeah, they came for the Jews and I did nothing. They came for me. I turned around for help and there was nobody there to fucking help me. So it's about getting it out there.
And being creative. It doesn't mean that we need to do things like others do. It means that if we get that feeling inside of I need to do something, just do it. Just go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. Taking responsibility again. We can wait for others to do it, but it never ever gets done, does it? Let's fucking face it. Do you know what I mean? Again, that old saying, you better off just to fucking do it yourself if you want something done right. But they work on us not being organised. Yeah, and the disorganisation partly comes from the fear from the programming. And partly ignorance. But it only goes so fucking far with me, ignorance. Because once you've been fucking told, right, then ignorance goes to fucking stupid. So no time for stupid. But yeah, what can I tell you? You need flyers, you need posters, you need to let people know what you know and what's happening in the world, and then bring it down to a local level. What's happening locally, Mark? What's happening locally to you? What measures are they bringing in that are connected to this system, this new world order system? Are they bringing any measures in locally? That's what you could concentrate on first, because it's in people's minds. It's different for different areas. This is why it's so difficult. This is why they use the parish councils, because again, it's divide and conquer. They're splitting us up, splitting us up, splitting us up. It's like fucking what was it called? That movie where they split them up into districts. So it's divide and conquer, but it's about getting the people who are.
Is it Hunger Games?
Yeah, that's the one. Hunger Games.
I've always compared what we're living to that. Yeah, they divide us. Yeah, and different classifications and whatever.
It's the oldest trick in the book. You know, it's illusion. It's how a good joke works, isn't it? Misdirection. It's a trick of the ear. A magician uses a trick of the eye. It's the same fucking trick, though. But it's about empowering yourself, having those thoughts. What can I do? Get people locally to listen. Yeah, even if it's just 2 or 3 of you, get on the bandwagon. Get something local set up where you can invite people and talk and let them know what's coming. Use facts. Don't use bullshit. Don't use any conspiracy crap. Just use straight up facts with people. And be as authentic as you can. You're a local person just like everybody else. But look, how do you become, did you say, how do you become a parish? How do you become a parish? It's already been done. David Ward already did it, created his own embassy. So in terms of paperwork, it's already done on how to do that. Referendums are even simpler. That's all done in-house with the council. But it's about getting people to turn up to these meetings at the council and start putting pressure on because these councillors are local men and women. Yeah, they're nobody special. Shit down the pan like me and you. Yeah. And they're just implementing any old shit that comes in because they get paid for it. So yeah, it's hard. There's no right or wrong or easy answer. Nobody's done this before. But I know fighting them in street and blowing Parliament up. I know that is not the answer. I know this war can only be won on fucking paper.
You said David set a parish up.
His own parish. Yeah, the parish of Ward. He had his own embassy, the embassy of Ward. It's just a matter of writing off to every fucking embassy in on world stage to The Hague. So it can be done.
What, as his house or as a plot of land?
No, it's your estate, Mark.
Right.
So the House of Herbert, what the House of Herbert represents is my estate. Now, what is my estate, Mark? My estate is everything I can see, touch, feel, and smell, because I've got rights to it all. As long as I don't hurt anybody else, I've got rights to it all. So that's my estate.
Because there are some towns in that which are parishes, not towns.
Well, this is where you need to band together as men and women, local people, to create bigger and larger parishes. Because don't forget, so I've gone from living in a house with my wife and 2 kids, right, to living in a caravan for the time being with my wife and 1 child. But we're living here with another family. That's the first time I've lived with another family, if that makes sense. No, we're not kind of living in the same house, but we're living with another family, and it has its challenges. Mostly awesome, but it has its challenges. I imagine living with 3, 4, 10, 20, 30 families is fucking impossible. Because everybody's got an opinion, Mark, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's what most people want to do is form communities.
Yes, but when it comes down to brass tacks of it, Mark.
Yeah.
What do they really want? They want their own. They want their own little piece of security. So this has to go out. So this is bigger than any one of us, Mark. Yeah. So this goes back to rights. What are rights? Rights are not bestowed. You can't bestow rights on somebody. Nobody has the authority to bestow a right or take one away. Anybody's rights are given to them when they come here, yeah? People say God given. You can say what you like, but you're given rights when you come here. But you can only claim them if you know what they are, Mark. We have right to all dominion. I don't rent a piece off government. So this is the mindset. Government is just a bunch of men and women pretending to be an authority, when in actual fact, Mark, they ain't got no legal authority. Never have had. The referendum, again, it's there. It's there. It's almost It's almost an unelection process for me. It's a direct vote from the people. Okay. So it's a direct vote. So what are we voting for? Who gets to say what we're voting for? Well, the people, if the people are bringing the referendum.
How many people would it need to create a referendum?
13, I believe, is the magic number.
13?
Yeah.
Would it not be 12?
No, 13 is the magic number.
Oh, you invite 12 to the table, including yourself.
And one speaker, yeah, that's right.
It's what Jesus did, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Yeah, this is all
12
interconnected.
apostles.
And Jesus. It's all interconnected, right? The story is the same, yeah? It's the same story, different, the same girl, different dress. Yeah, and it's all about having your eyes on the story, not on the fucking girl in the dress. You know, all these things are put here for that purpose, to deceive us. Yeah, to draw us away from what we've been put here for.
These days, it's blokes in dresses.
Well, you never know what the fucking are, mate, to be fair. You don't know whether they're Arthur or fucking Martha. Yeah, sometimes, mate, I just want to get off.
All right, calm down.
You know, just stop the fucking ride, please. Let me get off. But there is hope in humanity, because people are amazing, aren't they? Fucking people are absolutely unbelievable, mate, honestly. The resilience people show around the world, right? It fucking inspires me every day. You know, when I see what people are up to, the fucking unbelievable pressures and strains that people live under every single day. Yeah. It amazes me, the resilience that people have. So yeah, that gives me a bit of hope, Mark. It gives me a bit of hope, yeah, because it's a fucking dark old world, mate. But shit like that gives me hope. Not everybody's a cunt, although most are.
There goes Carla's favorite word.
Yeah.
He must be thrilled.
I am in ecstasy at this point, you know.
I could sense that, yeah.
I am just saying, can you repeat that again, please?
Oh dear, but
what I love the most is accents when he says the word. Say it again, please.
What cunt?
What cunt? Yes.
I think I use that word, and I like to use that word because I've been a cunt as well. Yeah, I've been a cunt in my past, so I don't mind using that word, because we can all be dickheads and we can all be pricks and assholes.
No, what is the other word that you use? You use another one.
Some of us
Bit
just
keep
on dragging it along.
No, he doesn't use that one. He uses another one, which is what was the other? I love when he says the other one. It's
Oh, you got me thinking now, Carla.
Knobhead. Say it, knobhead. Yes. Knobhead.
What a knobhead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Say twazzock as well, don't we, Scott?
We say wazzock.
Oh, he's right. Twazzock he is.
Wazzock. Oh, that one is new.
Yeah,
the great ugly parrot-faced wazzock.
Hey, have you not Carl how to say A up in City yet?
Oh my God.
We'll lose him if we keep going, won't we? Hey up in City.
Can I use that in a sentence altogether? cunt knobhead was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. How I love. Yeah. I think,
Yeah,
Scott, Mark is from your area, aren't you, Mark?
Close.
Yeah,
School's
but
over his way.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Mark lost his accent, so Mark is not funny anymore. He looks very British and Polish. We prefer the raw North.
Well, they say it's
Scott
grim up
for a
there.
while. Soon come back.
Whereabouts are you from, Mark?
Rochdale originally.
Oh, just over at Pennines. Not far.
Yeah. Well, I had to go over Pennines to get to school because I went to school in Rishworth.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice up there, mate. Windy, but nice.
Yeah. Blessed, really. For where I could have gone.
Absolutely, mate. Do you know what? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not a believer in God, but they used to say God's own country, and there's enough in Yorkshire for you never to leave. Why do I need to fucking leave? I've got everything I need in Yorkshire.
I love when you say Yorkshire. Yorkshire.
To get a Lancashire lass.
Well, I've got my son a Lancashire lass, Mark. I've got from Ernston. I have.
I have.
Yeah, dragged it out on gutter. Yes, I have, mate. Yeah, a Mancunian.
Oh, Scott, Anthony is saying I've looked through this because I passed him the Birmingham Council Constitution. I've looked through this, nothing I can see in relation to parish councils or referendums. We'll read this over the next few days. Oh man, you have lots to read.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Mine is 286 pages.
Yeah.
I'm still on the 4th. Because in the meantime, I'm laughing and cracking through all those words.
Yeah. Well, I see what I see, Carla, right? What I see is a world, right, full of fearful people, right? Oh, are they ever going to be ready for that affidavit? I'm not sure they'll ever be ready, most of them. The referendum, it will get more people. Will it get enough? People love the servitude, don't they? Yeah, they love the fucking servitude, and as long as they're just getting enough, they're quite happy.
It's easier, isn't it? It's easier when someone does things for you or decides.
Since we touch on this thing of the council, yeah. Today I was in work, and three clients. The first one, he was talking, and I don't know why I asked him. But what do you do for work? And he goes like, oh, I work in the council. And I'm like, shit. Oopsie. And I'm like, okay. And then I shut the conversation because I said, well, I'm not even going to bother to talk to you. And then he goes on and on and on and on, talking about what he does. And yeah, and my face was just like, man, I could kill you. Not just with my scissor, but with my words, you know. And then the second client, another one, she was talking yada yada yada, and then she goes like, "Oh, because I work in the council," and I'm like, "Bloody hell! But are they following me or something?" And I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, that's good." And she was, and I was like, "And what department?" And she was like, "Oh, I work. Well, it's related to council because it's in the housing, kind of real estate. I don't know. I don't think you understand." And I was like, I think I understand better than you think you understand.
And you said, try me. Yeah.
No, I told her, I think I understand better than you understand it. And she was like, but do you have someone working in the council? And I'm like, no, I just like to read everything about the council. At this point, I'm reading your constitution, by the way. And she was like, huh? And then the conversation stopped. And I was like, yeah, right. Then the third one, same thing. We were talking, yada, yada. And she goes, I work in the council. And I'm like, bloody hell, 3 in one day? This is a sign.
Were they giving out vouchers for haircuts today or something?
Don't know. I think they were, you know. And I was just like, bloody hell, what is wrong with these people, you know? And I was like, oh yeah, and so what do you do there? And she was like, oh, I'm just in the reception, yada yada. I'm like, okay, you're not important then. And my tongue was biting so hard for me to say to those three that, oh, really? Oh, funny enough, I completed a commercial lean on your CEO, Mark Williams. Do you know the guy? Have you met him? Yeah, I have a lean on him. But I was like, nah, I'm not going to say this because otherwise this will go probably in the wrong direction. But I was just like, oh, God. I don't know. Maybe that was a sign. I don't know. I don't know what to make out of it. What do you make out of it, Scott?
Well, I think there must have been a 2-for-1 offer for fucking council workers for a start. Buy one, get one free.
Hold on, but there were 3 of them. So where does the other one come in?
It must have, bog off offer.
Oh, maybe it was she because she was a receptionist, was like a child. Child.
Yeah, it's wild.
Your family for a haircut.
For me, I was thinking that probably because I'm reading that motherfucking constitution, now I'm bringing them to my attention, you know?
I think they're on to you, Carla. They went to check you out.
Yeah, because
let's
second
see if
one,
she's gonna say something about all this documentation, all this stuff she's sending in.
You know, after the first one, I was okay, yeah, but the second one, I was like, what the hell? This is getting weird, because she started the conversation. Where are you from? And I was like, bloody hell, why the hell are you making me that question? And I said, planet Earth. And she giggly. And then she was like, no, seriously, you have a different accent. And I'm like, oh, yeah, so try to guess then. I just saw the accent, you might know where he's from. And and then she was like, oh, do you work here long? And I'm like, bloody hell, do I ask you stuff about your life? I don't ask you, how long are you alive? Are you married? I don't even ask any of those type of questions. Why the hell are you asking me those questions, you know? And I give all, I the questions, and I didn't answer, but I find it odd. Why the hell, second one on my chair from the council, I think they are on to me, you know? And then when came to the part of the receptionist, I said, I had enough. There is no more conversation. I'm going to keep my cunt face and no one will talk to me. And that's it. Maybe they were trying to figure it out something. I don't know. But 3 in a row? No, that's too much.
It's like an inside job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ingon,
same thing.
Anthony saying, blimey, 3 turn up must have been told there is free haircuts going on or something. How do we all think alike? Okay, Scott, answer this one. You know, it comes from Anthony, so yeah, it has a trick, obviously. How do we all think alike? No, this is not a question. I think he's just saying because, yeah, we are okay. No.
We all have the ability to think alike, but it's the law of attraction. Yeah, like meets like. Yeah, these are real laws. Yeah, they can't be changed and manipulated, and we fucking don't know half of it. We don't know half of it. How the world actually fucking works. Yeah, it's just basic physics, really.
Yeah.
You
Maybe this was a test from the universe to try to see if I learned my lesson, which is keep your mouth shut with people that are not important. Because if it was back in the day, yeah, I would probably be telling something to these three people that I should not be saying. So I think I learned my lesson. Yeah, just laugh at their face and keep going. Yeah, go on.
forget you've got the scissors.
Can I ask you something? Did you do a nice haircut or did you do
What
something
do you
funny?
think? What?
You don't want to know what I think.
Of course not. From the
Of
moment that
course
they
not.
said
What? That could go either way. Of course not. Of course not. I
no,
didn't do anything.
no, I didn't do a good job. Yeah. Well, the guy, I left his back, one side higher and the other lower. Yeah. Just because then he was talking about taxes and he continued to speak and I was just bouncing my head and stuff like, oh yeah, I remember what he was saying. He was talking about asking if we have permission to have the radio on. And I said, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not even from this neighborhood. So my type of questions were like that, you know? Oh, no, I'm not from here. Don't know. Yeah. Then he goes on to say something like, oh, yeah, because
Oh my God. He
you
was
have to
really
have a
provoking you.
license. Yeah, he was. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, because the conversation came out of, and I never saw that guy in there, you know, and the conversation was really odd, you know, and I was just like, you know what, fuck you. I'm not even gonna bother myself to say anything. Then the second one. Also the oh, I never saw you here, yada yada, and I'm like, why should you be seeing me here? What is wrong with you? I hate when people do small talk. I can't stand. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, my hair this and my hair that, and I'm like, oh bloody hell. Okay, now you're gonna get it. that's that. So I shove my brush several times in her head. For her to be quiet and stay still. And the third one, I mean, I hate this so much. She sit on the chair. I ask her, what is it that you like me to do today? Yada yada, and she goes like, oh, I don't know. What do you think? For fuck's sake, it's not me who's gonna live with your fucking hair every fucking day. How the hell would I know? You know, it's just like.
But you're the expert. Anybody would say that. What do you suggest? What do you think looks best?
No.
You know, like what do you suggest?
I mean, really, no. I mean, no. Okay, no, not on my chair. If you want to go and do those things, you do with someone else, not on my chair. That's simple. I don't take that.
What was your test?
What?
What if it was your test? You had 3 opportunities.
I think it was.
Okay,
And I kept my mouth shut.
But what if it's those are the people that really need to hear these things because they are working within it? And once you plant seeds on those who work within it, that seed grows within it.
Oh, no.
You should have just
like with
asked.
the officer that came to
you
me
should
when
have
I went
asked
to the
stuff.
school. Remember?
No, because they were very proud to say that they work on the council.
So you need to bring that pride down.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's where I see that I've learned my lesson, because if it was in the past, I would say I would have said a lot of things, you know.
But I don't mean saying, asking, because now you know, right? So they would say something and you would ask to make them think.
Yeah, but what is the point of? Yeah, I don't see the point of asking these people questions, to be honest.
Because they go back to work and they mention it to another work colleague, and it gets them thinking. And they go, "Oh, well, we've heard something similar to that, and they had this." And
do you think
it's true?
Do you even think that they are gonna jeopardize their lovely job title and their security over a crazy hairdresser? I don't think so.
Well,
that one is I don't suffer fools. Not anymore.
I think there are still people within these positions that are still awakening to certain things.
But they need the safe net. They need the safe net. I mean, Mark, I'm telling you. And I said this to Baron David Ward one day. I said to him, "Listen, I am going mental. I'm going to quit." And I quit working in that salon because I was saying to everyone that I knew about the affidavit and the facts and everything. So I've been there, you know.
And how many seeds have you planted with that?
Well, none of my knowledge. I don't know if it clicked after.
Not of your knowledge,
I don't know.
no.
That's not our job, Mark.
Yeah, I don't think so.
My job ain't waking anybody up at work or anywhere else for that matter. When that's why these groups are here. When the people come to us, then we'll talk. I'm not interested in waking anybody up. We're all where we need to be, Mark. It's not my job. Yeah, I'll teach anybody that comes to any of these groups, but it's not my job to wake nobody up. While ever they're making fraudulent claims in their office, it's my job to hold them to account. But other than that, this is where the local comes in. So these men and women that work locally, they need to see these meetings because they're all in firing line, and they're all holding on, aren't they? They're all holding on by the fingernails. Because each one of them will have a mortgage, no doubt. All these so-called public sector workers. So it's all crumbling round them. That's why they need to see local people making a stand locally. And until that happens, what confidence have they got? Some mad woman cutting hair in an hairdresser. Yeah, because that's all they see it as. Yeah, some nutter in the street told me this. That's how they see it. But once it's on paper, they can't escape the paper.
In the past, I showed people that my video that I recorded calling the magistrate court and having them answer that there is no case and yada yada, and showing them that how fraudulent the council tax is, none of them ever came back to me to say, can you please show me how can I do this that you did as well? None of them. And I lost clients. And I had clients telling me, Carla, can I book with you? But can you please not speak about the things that you spoke, because I went home with a headache. Yeah. So I've been there, done that, and I think this was my lesson, and I learned it. You know, I was the one making fun of
No,
them
I don't
this
think.
time.
I totally agree with you. It's not telling, because I know what you're saying, because I've also sent the affidavit to so many people, and I've talked about it. But if you're not ready to hear it, forget it. In this case, I would have, when they said something about the council, I would have played around with it. I would have enjoyed it and say, "Oh, really? So why do you do that? Or where do you think where this
I
authority comes from? Whatever."
no,
Yeah, probably I would have played with it.
I can't do that because I'm too passionate about it. Especially that motherfucker one that was talking about the council tax real estate. Oh, it's
Yeah,
similar to a real estate. When she was saying that, I felt my blood boiling, and the words of Baron David Ward in my ear saying 300 people in the UK alone with no house, and this fucker is sitting here in my fucking chair, and telling me that it's similar to real estate. Oh, fuck it! No, I can't. No. Too passionate about it. No. I would slap that woman and strangle her and make her understand that you are fuckers because you are stealing, because your job should be giving housing to people and not stealing money from them. I feel so much alive
absolutely,
now.
absolutely. And you could
Yes,
have
they're
made
not
that
stealing.
comment when
I
they
of
said
course not.
about real estate. You could have said, "Really? Your job is to do that, not to do that." I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, you can still do it, but don't. I know you're passionate, and so am I.
Yeah.
When I talk about this, for me, the affidavit was the end and the beginning of a new life. I mean, I live by this. But I don't waste my time. Like Scott was saying, we're not here to change anybody's mind, but definitely, when I go to a store now and I buy something, I never say how much money I owe you. I always say, how much faith and belief do I owe you? Do you want? And they look at me, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, because this is not even money. This is like a promise to pay whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I don't lose an opportunity to say what I'm not preaching, I'm not teaching, but I don't, I'll
Plant the
use every
seed.
opportunity to say something.
You plant the seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will talk in a year times, yeah, Florbella?
No, absolutely. I know these are stages. But I mean, what are you going to do? You might as
Yeah,
well play around with it. And if they want to take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. But it's just your way. Yeah.
I've
But maybe
been
I'll
there.
think differently. Yeah.
You will. Remember what I told you last year?
Absolutely. I know
Yeah,
it's the
look where
stages.
you are now. So I'm gonna tell you the same thing. We will speak in a year time, yeah?
Well, I hardly talk now anyway, so maybe I'll just be mute completely next year.
You're just gonna be looking and
Whatever.
smiling. Exactly. But
I'm
don't
getting
worry.
close. I'm getting close,
Yeah,
believe me. Yeah. Talk to the hands.
exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't even get close to family.
Yeah.
Because a couple of weeks ago, when my brother was here visiting with his wife and his daughter, my son was coming over to visit, and he's got a bike. He's got a Suzuki GSX 1000 or whatever it is. And as he was setting off, he had his stuff in a rucksack. And he called me an hour after he set off and said, I can't come, Mum. And then he told me the story. And apparently his rucksack, the zip on his rucksack had come open, and he's lost all his documents. He's lost the passport. He's lost the driving license. He's lost the cartão de residencia. He lost his wallet. Everything's gone. So obviously things got resolved in some way. In other words, he turned around and decided he was coming back. But then he called me a couple of days later and he said, well, how can I go to work? And I said, well, what do you mean? How can you go to work? That young guy is terrified of being on the road without any documents. And I said to him, Jack, I said, even in their fucking stupid world, I said, the law does not require the impossible. I said, you can't give them what you don't have. I said, but what you must do is report it. Well, what's the point in that, blah? Nobody's going to find him. And I said, well, what if somebody does and somebody hands it in and you haven't reported it? He's terrified of being on the road because he knows what the GNR are like here. You know what they're like. You know how aggressive they are, and I'll just get a multa and blah, 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 blah. And I sent him this huge email with all the so-called laws or the legislation that we know about here, but he doesn't have the confidence to use it. He's only 26. And as much as he knows from what I've taught him over the years that he's not the name and all that kind of thing, he's still got fear. And that's something that only comes with, well, experience, time and that kind of thing. But yeah, to be expecting to get through to people that you don't even know when you can't get through to your own family, what can you do? What can you do? It's like we say, you can only sow the seed. If it falls on fertile ground, it'll germinate. If it doesn't fall on fertile ground, it's just going to die.
Sorry, raising that up because I lost all my driver's license and I'm struggling to find a way to hire a car when I'm going from a country to another. So I always get stuck with the public transport because no one wants to rent me a car. Locally, it's not a problem because I've got a car here.
Solvent.
Hey, Scott.
How are we doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you. Good to hear you. It's been a while.
It certainly has, mate. It certainly has. Yeah, it has been a while. But I think that's why these groups really were set up, because you realise that you can't reach everybody. You want to scream it from rooftops. Yeah, it's you go through stages. You can't reach everybody. And even if you could, not everybody wants to be reached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people are they're in blissful fucking ignorance, and they're as happy as pigs in shit. That's why these groups were set up, really, to concentrate what is pointless fucking shouting in dark. You need to be shouting where people can hear you. That's why these groups are set up. That's why Carla does these Telegram calls. That's why other admins do Zoom calls on Facebook. It's about, really, the affidavit is supposed to empower everybody when they read it. But unfortunately, some people are lazy fuckers and they won't even pick it up, right? So you can probably split the world into three categories, yeah? Them that will with a bit of help, and them that won't.
Yeah.
And even them that will, half of them are fucking lost. So you've got to concentrate it down. Yeah. You can't force it. You've got to let them come to us. That's why these groups were set up. David Ward, fucking hell, he was fucking brutal. He was fucking brutal compared to admins nowadays. There were a reason he was brutal, because you need to know what you're doing. Yeah, everybody wants a template. Everybody wants to copy off somebody else. You need to be authentic and original to yourself. There's a method of doing it, of course there is, but there's no right and wrong really in this. There's just putting facts on paper.
How do I deal with those situations? Do I have to force a rental company to hire me a car?
Well, look, no, because again, it's a company as well, isn't it? It's a company, right? So with any company, right, there is a company generally offers a service, and we want that service. So that company will have strict rules on the services that they offer.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like people will say, "Well, I'm going to stop paying my internet." Well, stop paying your internet. I guarantee they'll fucking turn it off.
Definitely, yes.
You know, they believe they're offering a service, right? Of course they're not. We've proven that, but they're under the assumption that they're offering a service. And of course, if you don't meet the criteria for that service, you're not going to get the service. So why did you lose your license? Who's taking your license off you?
Well, because I was once drunk and they got into the car and just took everything that was there. So they held the driver's license. I said, okay, I don't need it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a tough one, mate. So you're in England and you've got a car here?
No, I'm in Morocco. Remember, I used to talk to you when I was in Australia.
Yes. Wow, okay. So are you driving in Morocco? You've got a car? Are you moving around in a car, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, here in Morocco it's fine, but I've been to Portugal and I was struggling to get a car. And once I was back here in Morocco before I bought this one, I couldn't find any. I couldn't get it. Couldn't get a car. So to keep me moving till I get something in hands.
Yeah, it's a tough one, mate. It's a tough one because, as
Even
we know,
now I'm thinking to go back to Portugal, but I couldn't. You know, it will be a big struggle in the first days before I get something.
Yeah.
Get to buy one or something.
Have you got no friends can help you out for a few days in Portugal?
Yeah, but everyone has their own things going on. Don't like to depend on other people and get them out of their way as well.
No, I get that, mate. I get that. Look, it's a tough one. We're dealing with criminals at the end of the day. Yeah, as you know, mate, we're dealing with criminals. Nobody needs a license to drive. Yeah, as long as you're competent enough to drive, nobody needs a license. But, and I say this because it's a big but, because I've fucking tried it. Don't worry about it, mate. I've tried. And they do steal cars. You know, yeah, if you haven't got a license or you haven't got insurance, they will fucking steal your car if you've got a car on road.
Exactly. I was about to lose one in Spain 3 weeks ago. I came past the Moroccan borders and I came to the Spanish and they said, "Oh, your car is not registered anywhere in the world. So you either go back to Morocco or you're gonna lose your car." So,
wow.
Oh, okay.
So back to Morocco it was.
Well, I'm back in Morocco, so I left the car in the garage and leave it. See what happens.
Yeah, mate. Look, there's no easy fix. There's no easy fix to your problem. Obviously,
No.
you've got a car in Morocco. Can you get hold of Can you get hold of a different license for abroad?
Well, I might have to wait for another maybe 6 months here before I get another one, or fly back to Australia to get one from the Australians.
Yeah, that might be worthwhile, mate. You've got 2 then. Yeah, look, there's no right or wrong here. There's no easy quick fix.
No.
This is why the people have to come together, right, and realise what's been perpetrated on them. Yeah. I could give you some shitty advice as well and say do this, do that, but I've tried most of it, mate. I've tried most of it myself, and they fucking steal cars and they steal you as well. Yeah, you'll end up in jail. You'll end up fucking all. It's a pain in the ass. I've tried it all.
Yeah, I've been there, mate. I've been through this year. I've been through hell. But Domingo Lucrea from Portugal, he did issue himself a kind of capable of driving or something, and made himself a kind of driver's license, and he hands it to them every now and then. But I don't know how that would have worked with a hire company or rental company.
Exactly, mate. Ultimately, right, they would have the say, wouldn't they? Yeah, whether they're legal or illegal is irrelevant when it comes to you not being able to hire a car. Yeah, you can try it. There's all sorts you can try. Like I say, you could go down the route of making yourself into into an embassy, right? So you're your own jurisdiction, basically. You'd have to write to The Hague, and after that, you basically created your own jurisdiction. So you could, for all intents and purposes, issue yourself a driving license, issue yourself a passport. Yeah, you can do all of these things as all possible. Now, are they going to accept them? Well, that's a fucking different story, isn't it? That's a different conversation. We're dealing with criminals, don't forget.
Yeah, at some point they will accept it, but it's a matter of time, because they always get a hold for hours and hours just talking to the police and talking and talking and talking. As you know, here in Morocco, it's in every town there is a police in there, so they stop everybody and for random checks, and I end up spending their hours just talking and talking and talking till the end they let me go, but they waste a lot of my time. So don't get to do as much as they're supposed to do.
It's the only valuable commodity we've got, pal, in it, really. Yeah.
Yeah, because they speak to the higher, to their superiors, and then in the end they let me go. But it always costs me time wise.
That's the payoff, mate. That is the payoff. This is why we need the numbers, brother. As more and more people get on board with understanding the facts, traveling is a very difficult thing to do, and it shouldn't be. It should be the easiest thing to do, travel. But they make it fucking impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah, mate. Yeah, you know the score, mate. You know if you stand your ground, there's nothing they can do. However, the payoff is you've got to pay them in time.
Yeah.
Stand your ground. You know how to do that. You're doing that already. You know what to do. Yeah, there's no easy fix, mate.
No, it's not an easy fix, especially here, because the people are really asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same story, mate, isn't it? It's the same story. It doesn't seem to matter what country it is. Yeah, the same old story. The same shit happening in every government across the planet. How people can't see the choreographed nature of it all is beyond me. But yeah, mate, we can support you, mate, as best we can. You know, through these calls, but you know the score. It's it's a fucking tough road, mate.
We've been already talking about few bigger issues here in Morocco, that there is no email address to send anyone. So it's another thing. So it's a big challenge. It's very challenging.
So they're actually hiding
to be able to send the affidavit and stuff. So there is no way. Well, still looking. I'm giving up.
That's a spirit, mate, isn't it?
Well, you can always send it by post. Yeah, we just avoid that, but we can always send things by post because they have an address.
They would just trash everything, and
it doesn't matter what they do, though. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you have the proof that it was sent. They received it. They do not rebut the affidavit within the time that you give them. You say right there that they consent, so it stands as truth because they're not rebutting it. We don't care what they do with it. They could throw it out. They could hang it on their wall for all we care, you know. They should read it definitely and be aware. Maybe most of them are aware how criminal they are. But yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, they are already struggling because when I challenge them in their office, and at the end, they do all the reports and they don't even leave me with a copy with whatever we've been discussing when they put it formally in their records. And then when I asked for a copy for myself, they said, no, you wouldn't get it. No, impossible. Oh, okay. So what the hell I'm doing here then? So I walk off with my hands empty. Then it stays all there. Then go to another of the shops and go through the same thing again, and then nothing. That's the trick. It's very tricky.
No, the trick is not to have conversations with them.
Well, there is no other way.
Well, can you not remain silent? I mean, if you have nothing to, if you're, but if the affidavit is your only declaration,
then I'll be holding custody for, I don't know, till they just had enough of me.
Okay, that's what you have to find out. I know that maybe things are a little bit different, but how long can they hold you for if there's no crime, no victim? How long do they hold you for?
I think it max custody is 72 hours, then later on it's to the jail. And
yeah, but there's no crime.
There is no crime. Even if there is no crime, they wouldn't let you go. They wouldn't let me go, even if there is no crime, because they put a security guard there for the police. An idiot, they just, just tell him what to do, and then they just follow orders.
Well, I don't know. You probably know a lot more about how things work than I did when I started this, when I found the affidavit and I started learning about all of this. But one thing I have to say, many times we don't know what they should be doing. See, what they do is one thing, what they should be doing is another. And if you know what your rights are when you, let's say, as a citizen, what are your rights when you're detained by the police? So you hold them accountable that they need to act. They need to follow that. So many times we're not even aware of how they should act. So they do whatever they want. Because I didn't know before that the maximum that I can be held in custody is 6 hours until they identify me if there's no crime, no victim. So if they had kept me for 2 days for whatever reason, I would have thought that would be normal.
Yeah.
And then I would get a prostitute to represent me and just do the whole theatrical thing.
Well, that's exactly
so we need to know.
That's exactly
yeah, we need to know
want.
though. Yeah, it's important.
That's their tactics, because when they hold me in custody for 48 hours, they were asking me, do you want to get an attorney, do you want this or something, because they all just think money, because one is working for the other. They're all part of the same circus. I'm not saying this to scare, or that I'm scared of what's happening. I'm still standing the ground though. And it's pretty difficult. And I'm not ready to give up either. I'm not giving up.
What Bella said though is valid, Azul. If you can find as much information out, and you have to hold them accountable at every single level, and you can only do that by knowing, yeah. So you'll have to go through not only how long are they allowed to keep you, how long are they allowed to let you go without food and water. So make sure you're fed, and make sure you fucking hold them accountable at every level. And when it comes to court, you have to be dragged into court. Because if you're not dragged into court, then you're there consensually.
Yeah, once I threatened even one of them because he standing in front of the car. He didn't want to let me go. And I said, if you stay there, I'm going to run over you. Then I even pushed him a little bit to run away, and I took off. But they followed me with other cars, and they were just chasing me everywhere till they pulled me over. And they ended up going with them to the shop, because the other one, he was just like you. He was just ready even to kill me if he could. I said, oh, you might sound human at all. And what is the end of all of this? They would just charge me, they give me a fine. They said, what's the end of your powers? It's just a fine. So why would you put yourself at risk? And he didn't even fucking pay attention. He's still like over the moon, like he did something. As if he did something like extraordinary or something to get me to come with them to the shop. I said, what the hell? But at the end, I didn't pay a cent for it. They did ask me questions, and we've been there for a couple of hours just talking, and then left. But seriously, I lost my cool. I would have run over him, and I would have become more criminal than he is.
Yeah, it's difficult to keep your head, mate, in those type of circumstances, though. When you're prodded and poked, it is difficult, but it is imperative, mate. Yeah, you've got to keep your. It's difficult, though, mate, under those circumstances.
Yeah. And it's every day. It's pretty much every day. At least every week there is some big dramas going on, but pretty much every day there is a little conflicts happening. So it absorbs all my energy, and I come back home really just Is it worth it? Is it worth all these dramas every day? Or me, I'm going to hide somewhere? No.
From my point of view, I love conflict, mate. I thrive off that conflict with them. Yeah, I draw fucking energy from them. So for me, yes, it's worth it. I fucking love it.
I do love it, but when I come back home to the family and they hear all the stories, when someone of them get offended or something like that, they run to my brothers and say, hey, your brother disrespects us in front of your body and stuff. Then I come back home and I found another dramas, you know. They try everything. They've tried everything. And it's still going. It's not the end.
You're still here, mate. Listen, life's hard, isn't it? Right? It is hard, life, regardless of what you're doing. It's fucking hard, mate. Nobody said it was easy, right? But it's these experiences that will fucking shape who we are as old, yeah? So, you're probably the first person in Morocco, as far as I'm aware. Yeah?
I guess so, yes.
So you're the first. Well, being the first of anything is never easy, mate. Yeah? So,
yeah.
Don't forget, when David started this, he started with a blank sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So we all, every one of us, stand on the shoulders of giants, don't we? And that's where we have to draw our strength from, mate. Yeah? So there's just one in Morocco. Well, there was just one in Portugal. There was just one in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are why these groups are here, mate, to let you see. Yeah, you can see it you can hear it with your own ears. Yeah, these men and women from all over the world. It starts with you in Morocco, Azul. Yeah, it starts with you, mate. So everyone that comes after you in Morocco stands on your shoulders, mate.
Yeah. Well, it was much easier in Australia, believe me, because there was other people that just get on Facebook or something and contact the others and get some support from there and get someone to talk to about this thing. So I always follow the chats like this and stuff, and just to get some support and know that there is other people doing the same in other parts of the world. That's what's encouraging me to
leading
keep
role
going.
now.
You're in the driving seat, mate, for Morocco. Yeah. So Morocco is counting on you. Yeah, just like fucking every other country, right? There will have to be a first. There will have to be a first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a young lady in Luxembourg. When I first started following this lady's story, it was tragic. But she gets it, and now she's able to now pass that on. And that, for me, that's where it really starts, mate. Yeah. But being the first anywhere is the toughest, mate. Yeah, us in England, we had David Ward's shoulders to stand on. But now we have to stand on each other's shoulders, mate. Yeah, and build each other up with the knowledge. Yeah, you know the game is all. The game is that you keep your cash in your pocket. They're trying to strip it from us. Every life force you've got in you, they're trying to strip from you. That's the game. Yeah. So you've been through the system. They gave you the worst they could give you, a fine. You've not paid it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cost you some time. It's a pain in the ass, but you now understand the game as well. Yeah, you understand the game now. There is no authority. They can't do fucking nothing to you. Nothing. So it's building on that now, building on that mindset. Yeah. And yeah, focus your energy locally, mate. Yeah, Morocco. shout out to people, and that is how you get the message out. You only need one. Then from one you get two, you get five. But yeah, man, massive respect, because it's not easy. It's not easy doing what we do, because you're ridiculed from every angle, mate. Yeah, Carla touched on it before. Yes, she could have put herself in that position with the council people, but is there any real point? Not really. Yeah, not really. Not with these people. There are certain people that you can speak to, but people will look for, remember the cosmos. Like always attracts like.
Yes.
Yeah. So the path you're on, mate, the path you're on, you need to put it out there in Morocco, and people will join your path.
Well, I've been trying, but still trying. Still trying, not giving up, because most of the people that I know and that I talk to, they take me for an anarchist, and then some of them, they even try to burn me. The people that I talk to are the ones who actually turns to be the first enemies. But anyway, it is a big job. It is a big thing.
What else would we be doing, mate? Someone's got to start, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Once Pandora's box has been opened, right, there's no going back.
Yeah.
People talk about freedom. People don't know what fucking freedom is. They have no fucking idea.
That's right.
But Pandora's box is open. It's been thrown open, and it ain't shutting, right? So there is a new world coming. So you're either part of creating something new outside of their system, or you accept what's coming. That's how I see it, yeah? Because what's coming, it's coming. We like it or fucking not. So, man, massive respect to all. Massive respect, mate. Keep going in Morocco. Amazing, mate.
Likewise, mate. Likewise, thank you.
We will try to help with as much as information and as we can find. And I was saying to him, Scott, because we already have Tiago here that served in the affidavit in French, so he can use the French part and translate just the decree and the affidavits accordingly to that BS countries in to Arabic. We Mark also is going to see if he can have a friend that speaks Arabic that can help doing that. So yeah, all hands on deck. Let's have another affidavit translated.
If we can get it translated to Arabic, I mean, that opens up a massive part of the world, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get that translated. So, Matt, yeah, as all, we'll look if we can offer help, mate. Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning, okay? The important thing to now focus your attention is the foundation, and the foundation is the affidavit. And that's that.
Right. We'll get it going.
Yeah. We will.
Unless I give up. Unless I give up and go back to Portugal.
Do the people that live in Lebanon speak the same Arabic as you?
I'm not actually Arab, so I don't speak the official Arabic, because they speak a different Arabic dialect here, and my language
because
is
I have
totally
my friend,
different.
she's from Lebanon,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send her the decree in the affidavit to see if she can translate that for me in Arabic.
That would be good. I know some Arabic, but I don't know the formal one. So
yeah, don't worry. I will ask her if it's the same because I think it is the same. Because when I was living in Dubai, there was a girl from Morocco, and they could understand each other. They used to speak with each other in Arabic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be absolutely unreal.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's make this happen.
That opens up a massive part of the world, yeah. We forget the rest of the world, yeah. We're in the West, yeah. Most of the world doesn't, you know, a large portion don't fucking speak English. So yeah, if we can get it translated into Arabic, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was even going to hire someone to translate it to Tamazight, and he didn't still get back to me. So to the North African language, and he was going to charge me a lot, and I said, okay, fine, just do it. But he still didn't do anything.
If you listen to Baron David Ward, if he was still waiting for people to proofread his document, he would still be waiting, man. Forget about that.
Gosh.
If we want to see anything done, we have to do it ourselves. The same thing happened to me. If I was waiting for the Portuguese to help me translate that motherfucker, I would still be waiting. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only us. Yeah, there's only us. You can't wait for anybody else to do anything for you, right? Because don't hold your breath. Yeah, because it'll be the last fucking breath you ever take. The world's full of procrastinators, full of them, right? Be the doer. Be the one of action.
I'll do my best.
Love it, man. Love it. Love it. Right, on that note, guys, I'm going to have to sign off, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Right.
And we have your voice recorded. Yay!
Take care, Scott. Big hugs and kisses. Love you.
Massive hugs to everyone. An absolute pleasure chatting to